Solving Unsolved is brought to you by Grand Ocean Marine, the greatest life buoy makers in the whole ocean. If you're interested in going to the Bermuda Triangle, then you might want to check these out.
Hello, I'm Rowan,
And I'm Owen.
and welcome to Solving the Unsolved, a podcast about solving mysteries from around the world. Each week we talk about a different unsolved mystery.
On today's episode, we're talking about the Bermuda Triangle.
Five Navy planes set off on a training mission called Flight 19. 5 hours later, all the planes had disappeared without a trace. The Bermuda Triangle is an area that extends from the bottom of Florida southeast of the Bermuda and Puerto Rico. Researchers have said that hundreds of ships and planes have disappeared because of the Bermuda Triangle. The most famous story is the story of Flight 19.
The crew of Flight 19 was ready to take off on their training mission. Their plan was to fly 123 nautical miles, practice bomb runs, then fly another 73 miles back to base. They successfully did the bomb run and were on the second part of the flight.
One of the airmen was convinced that their compass malfunctioned, but the other airmen said that they were fine. Lieutenant Taylor, one of the airmen, looked down and saw a few small islands, and he thought that they were the Florida Keys. And Taylor ordered the squadron to fly northeast, but they made a critical mistake.
Flight 19 was lost. They were headed in the complete wrong direction. Taylor took the squadron even farther out to sea. By 5 p.m. the sun was setting, the weather was getting worse, and Flight 19 was headed further and further away from base.
They started to lose radio communication, and the base heard their last communication with Flight 19. But not every story can be thoroughly explained.
On December 22nd, 1967, Dan Barak, an experienced yacht owner, and his friend set sail on a luxury yacht to see the holiday lights near Miami.
Tragically, the yacht had seemed to have hit something about 1 mile into the trip. Barak called the Coast Guards and was calm because he had a built-in flotation device.
Soon the Coast Guards arrived to the scene, but Barak and his boat were nowhere to be seen. Over the next week, the Coast Guards of Miami searched to find the yacht or Barak, but nothing was found.
In 1917, during World War I, U.S. ships fell under control of the Navy instead of the citizens.
During this time, one of the Cyclops' mission was to transport 9,960 tons of coal to Rio de Janeiro.
They delivered the coal and they planned to have one stop in Brazil and then head straight to Maryland.
But that didn't happen. They made their first stop in Brazil and started their trip to Maryland, but the last known location of the ship was at Barbados.
This stop was unplanned, and the ship was never seen again. No one knows what happened, but there is one theory saying that the ore that they were storing to bring to Maryland was stored incorrectly, causing the ship to split in half and sink quickly.
About 30 years after the USS Cyclops sunk, one of her sister ships, USS Proteus, and the 58 people on board suddenly disappeared, along with all their cargo.
Just 1 month after that, the third sister ship of the trilogy, USS Nereus, vanished along with 61 people on board and the same cargo as their previous sister ship had lost with it.
But this can be easily explained, as the cargo on the sister ships was highly acidic, causing the cargo to make a hole in the ship and the ship sinking.
The SS Marine, or Sulphur Queen, was a ship that was originally used to transport oil, but then converted to be used to transfer molten sulfur. On February 2nd, 1963, the ship left Texas carrying around 15,000 tons of sulfur. The ship was headed towards Florida, and a radio message was sent to tell them their coordinates. After that, the SS Marine was never seen again. Two things could have happened to the ship. The first thing was that fires were very common on that ship because of sulfur, and they quit using the alarm because of it, so the ship could have burnt and sank. Another thing that could have happened is the ship was very eroded, and the Coast Guards would always point it out, so people say that the back of the ship broke because of the erosion, and the ship sank. Whether it is a man and his yacht disappearing, or an entire flight squadron going off course, it should be self-explanatory that there is nothing supernatural going on in the Bermuda Triangle.
The amount of evidence that natural occurrences causes several incidents inside the Bermuda Triangle makes it outrageous to believe that there's something supernatural going on. And if you previously believed that supernatural caused these incidents, we, at Solving the Unsolved, strongly suggest that you do your own research before trusting imbecilic myths.
This podcast is also brought to you by Oceana, a charity for cleaning up the ocean. Oceana has already protected 4 million square miles of the ocean and protected many sea turtles, sharks, dolphins, and other sea creatures. And there is much more that can be done with your help.